Hello, and welcome to today's bonus class, end of the year class. I decided to throw another one in there at the very end of the year to help us kind of let go of 2020 and move us into 2021. So this is the last class of this year, at least that I'll be teaching. So for this class, you don't really need a whole lot. You don't really need anything at all, especially if you're traveling, maybe don't have props available. That's fine. Roll out the mat and let's just go with it. Otherwise, you possibly might need a blanket to pad up your knees. You could always roll your mat up to the side if you needed to, or possibly a block. So if you have those, grab them. If you don't, no worries. They're not required. So today's quote, I love this quote. This is a wonderful day. I've never seen this one before, by Maya Angelou. So I think that is such a great quote, especially going into a new year. This is a wonderful day. I've never seen this one before. If you wake up every day with that attitude, you are starting off on the right foot. All right, so from here, we're going to start in a nice, easy seated forward fold. And I should just tell you now, this is going to be a easy, laid back, going class. We're not going to do anything too strenuous or too crazy. It's just a nice way to let go of the year and move on to the next one. So sit up nice and tall and have your right shin in front. Take a nice inhale through your nose and exhale and hinge forward any amount. So you can stay more upright. You can be down on your forearms, wherever you need to be, keeping your hips grounded in the ground. And take some nice deep breaths here in and out through your nose at your own pace. And while you're here, I want you to think about letting go of anything that no longer serves you. That could be anything. So it could be regrets, mistakes that you've made. Remember, learn from those. Those are all a learning experience. You've learned from them, and now it's time to let those go and move on. So let go of anything that is no longer serving you in any way. At the end of the year, this is a great time of year to do that. Just let all those things go. Breathe here, nice and deep, in and out through your nose. And on the exhale, come all the way back up, and now we'll switch across of our legs. So put your left leg and shin in front. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale through the nose and exhale, hinge forward any amount. You can also be more upright, whatever works for your body today. Breathing here in and out through your nose at your own pace. And I want you to think about the new year, not in terms of what you want to change about yourself, but instead I'd like you to focus on what you love about yourself. The new year seems to be a time where we are focusing, oh, I don't like this about myself, I'm going to change this. And so we set up all these things that we're going to do to change ourselves. Try to think about it in different terms this year and think about what you love about yourself and use that as your foundation to build changes and habits into your life. Just a different way of looking at things. All right, let's inhale and come all the way back up. From here, we'll come to all fours. We'll do some cat-cows. So your knees will be under your hips, your wrist will be under your shoulders, and we're going to, on the inhale, we're going to look forward, arching the lower back, exhale and round in, around the back, pull the belly button in, inhale, looking forward, arching the lower back, exhale, rounding and looking in, rounding the back, inhale and look forward, looking into what lies ahead, visualizing what lies ahead. Exhale, rounding in, looking inside at where you've been. Twice more. Inhale, looking forward, envisioning what lies ahead for you. Exhale, rounding, looking inside at where you've been. Once more. Inhale, arch your lower back, look forward. Exhale, round, and look inside. We turn to a nice neutral spine, and from here we're going to sink back onto our heels into a nice child's pose. Your knees can be wide or they can be closer together, you decide. Bring your arms forward and your forehead to the mat. And just let go here and breathe for a few moments. And in this pose, I want you to think about all the positive things that have happened this year for you. And I know this may be hard for a lot of us. This has been an extraordinary year. It's been a very trying year. There's been a lot of negative. But for the purpose of today's class, I want you to focus your attention on the positive. Think of positive things that have happened in your life this year. While you're breathing in and out through the nose, nice and deep. And on an inhale, come up. And from here, we're just going to simply step the right foot forward on our mat. And you can come all the way up. I want you to come more upright initially. Now, if you need to pad your knee and you don't have anything like a blanket nearby, you can always just fold your mat over and use that as padding. So do what works best for you. You can stay right here in this pose. This is a great opening. You can have your hand on your front shin, have your hands up overhead, whatever you want. If you like to go a little deeper, scooch that front foot forward just a little bit and bend deeper into that front knee, and you'll really feel a bit more of an opening here in your hip flexor. From here, you can, again, keep your hands on your shins. They can go up overhead. Alternatively, you can bring your hands down to the mat if that works for your body. And again, maybe you need some blocks here if you have those nearby or handy, or some books. So pick what works for you and just take a couple of nice deep breaths here, in and out through your nose. Seeing how that feels in your body and just releasing and letting go. Letting go of any tension that might be in those hips, maybe sitting from traveling. Inhale once more and exhale. And now we're going to step forward on the mat. And now inhale and lift halfway up, looking forward. If you don't have blocks, you can always just put your hands on your shins. And then on the exhale, just let it all go and fold forward. Inhale and come all the way up. Arms reaching up overhead and back down into mountain. Hands down to your sides. Feel the earth underneath all four corners of your feet. From here, we're now going to step the right foot back and come into that low lunge on the other side. So drop that back knee down. Your left leg is now forward. You can be more upright. Here's a good place to be. Hands can be wherever is good for you. Find the arm variation that works for you today. If you'd like to come in a little deeper, then bend deeper into that left front leg. And again, find the variation that works for you. Breathing here, nice and deep. A couple of rounds. Releasing that right hip flexor and just letting go, letting all of that go, letting all the tension go, all the stress, all the tightness. Anything you need to release, let it go now. Another nice deep inhale. And exhale, we're going to now step forward. Inhale and halfway lift. Again, you can just put your hands on your shins if you don't have blocks. Looking forward. And exhale and let all of that go and drop down into a forward fold. And then we're going to rise up. Come all the way up, arms up overhead. And bring your arms back down to your sides. All right, from here, we're going to do a couple side bends. So I'll turn to the side just so you can see, but you can stay at the top of your mat. So bring your arms up overhead, reaching for your left wrist with your right hand. Side bend over to the right. And along the same lines of thinking about the positive things that have happened in your life this year, think about the good things that you've done this year, the things that have worked well for you, the things that you were proud of. Think about those for a moment in these side bends. Take a nice deep breath here in and out while you're thinking of those things. Exhale, come up, and we'll do the other side. Grab your right wrist with your left hand and side bend over to the left. Breathing here. And on the exhale, let all that go and come back up to your mountain at the top of your mat. And from here, we're simply going to step back and do a nice downward dog. So get yourself set up in a nice downward dog. Feels good for you. Nice stretched out, stretch through your arms, through your legs. You can have your knees bent. They can be straight. You decide what works best for you in this pose. They can be wider. That also helps if you feel really tight. Widen out your stance with your feet. Have them as wide as your mat. Find what works best for you. Breathing here, pedaling out the legs,
just letting go of everything. Again, letting go of things that no longer serve you. Stretching back. Take another nice deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, let that go. You can let out a sigh if you'd like. Sometimes it feels good to just take a nice deep inhale and sigh and let it all out. Just let it all go. From there, release your knees down to the ground. And now we're just going to come onto our bellies. So come all the way down. And for today, all we're going to do is a simple couple of cobras. So forehead on the ground, your hands will be right around your chest area. You also can bring them further out if you find that helps to initially start. So I'm going to do that for the first round. I'm going to bring my hands out further in front of me and off to the side. Inhale and rise up into a nice low cobra. Breathing. Exhale, lower down. Now you can bring the hands back a little bit if you'd like. Inhale. Rising up in a nice cobra, bringing the chest forward. Exhale, lower back down. And now if you'd like, bring the hands down by your chest. And inhale and come up to a nice full expression of cobra for you today. And now letting go of that. And now we're going to flip over onto our backs. And here's where a block might come in handy if you would like to do, we're going to do bridge. So you can do a supported bridge with a block or without. So I'll grab the block just to show that modification. But if you don't have a block, there's no worries. So you're on your backs, plant your soles of your feet on the ground about hip distance apart. And from here you can either inhale and raise your hips up off the ground, any amount, arms down to your sides, and then you're in this version of bridge. It's not supported. If you'd like to have some support, take that block any height and place it underneath of your sacrum, right there at the end of the small of your back, right before the lowest part of your back, right before your butt, basically. Breathing here, nice and deep. So whichever variation you're in, just breathe here, let everything go, and remember to not allow your knees to splay out or in. You want to keep them as pointed up toward the ceiling as possible. Breathing here nice and deep for a couple of breaths in and out through the nose. And again, letting go of anything that no longer serves you. From there, you got the block, remove the block. Otherwise, go ahead and bring your hips back down to the ground. And now we'll do a nice supine twist. So from here, bring both of your knees into your chest. And now you're just going to bring both of your knees over to the right to a nice, just easy twist. We're not going to go anything crazy here, just a nice, easy twist. Arms out to the side. You can either look in the same direction as your knees. You can look straight up. You can look in the opposite direction, whatever serves you today. Just enjoy this nice twist, letting all that go. Breathing here. And now come back up. Bring your knees back into your chest. Hug them nice and deep. And now bring them up, both of them to your left side. And now bring both of your arms out to the side. And again, your head can be in any direction that serves you best today. Find where you need to be. And just breathe here for a couple of nice deep breaths. In and out through the nose. From there, bring both of your knees back up into your chest. Give them a nice big squeeze and a hug. And from here, you're just going to lay your legs out on the mat into a nice, restorative, relaxing shavasana. So just let everything go into the mat, your body, let all of it go into the mat. Just release everything. I'm going to come up. You guys stay there. Now, for those of you that have a certain time limit, we are right at about 15 minutes. So if you want to skip shavasana, I'm not going to hold you to it. But I highly recommend you do shavasana. But if you don't have time, come on up. And I wish you a wonderful, happy New Year. For those that have a little bit more time, we're going to spend just a couple of minutes here. So like I said, we're just at the 15-minute mark. So I want you to let everything go into the mat. Just completely let your body go, let everything go into the mat. And I want you, for this season that we're coming up into, the new year, into the winter season, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, which I'm assuming most of you are that are watching this video right now, I want you to embrace the idea of slowing down, of resting and restoring, because that is what the winter season is all about. It's a time to let go, to reflect, and to restore our energy and our being. So I'm going to let you stay here for another minute, a nice quiet time, breathing in and out through your nose at your own pace. For those of you that have more time, please stay there and ignore my cues. Otherwise, if you need to get on with your day, and have you bring both of your knees into your chest nice and slowly. A nice hug, nice squeeze. And for today, I'm going to have you roll over to your left side. The left side will aid in digestion. So today, let's roll over to our left side. And at your own pace, come back up to a nice seated position, like I am. I think it's good to help us aid in our digestion when we're the holidays, eating more food, eating things we don't normally eat, but also to help us digest just the year and everything else that we've done. So not just what we eat, but everything that we take into ourselves, into our being. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful New Year. Happy New Year to everyone. And let's hope that 2021 has a little bit more positive going for us than this last year has. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next year.